We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears. As we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Hello, PHS crew. We hope you are enjoying our 31 days of horror and Halloween videos. We are now only 8 days away from Halloween, till spooky season ends. We hate to see it go away. But no worries, PHS crew, because we will continue to give you scary videos. This is what we are here for. Now, let's dive and talk about Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, the video game. We recently watched the Nintendo showcase a few weeks ago, and they announced the remake and the release of Fatal Frame 2, coming in 2026, next year. We were excited to hear this, because the truth is, we have a love-hate history with this game. This is one of the scariest video games we ever played back in 2003 on PlayStation. It gave us nightmares for weeks. We just couldn't get it out of our head, and it was mostly due to 3 ghostly game entities. This brings back scary, but good memories. The Fatal Frame video game franchise really has a way of setting a tone of fear with its eerie, oppressive atmosphere. And the sound design is a masterclass in building tension. Every creak of a floorboard, every distant whisper, every sudden gust of wind, it all feels deliberate, designed to keep you on edge. The unearthly moans, groans, and death rattles from the ghosts is really disturbing. The sound has a way of permeating and penetrating through your ears, right to your soul. The protagonists, Mio and Mayu, twin sisters, find themselves in the middle of a dark forest. And suddenly, the lost all-god village appears out of nowhere. The twin sisters are drawn in and become trapped there. They are separated, and this is when the true horror begins. You primarily play as Mio, looking for her twin sister Mayu. You are alone in this creepy, old village, searching through these abandoned houses, filled with the souls of the trapped villagers. But, unlike most survival horror games, where your weapon is a gun or a knife, Fatal Frame gives you the camera obscura. It's a haunted antique, imbued with the power to capture and exorcise spirits. But to inflict real damage, you have to wait. You have to let the ghosts wander up to you to get as close as possible. You have to let the camera fully charge before you can take the Fatal Frame shot. Once the camera bar is full, quickly take a picture to exorcise the ghost. This is how the game works. I know, this sounds simple enough, but it is a really terrifying concept. Because this mechanic forces you to confront your fear directly. It turns flight into fight, and it makes you stand your ground in the face of pure terror. It's the ultimate risk-reward system, and it makes every ghostly encounter a heart-pounding moment. Playing this video game at the time was scary as hell and traumatized us with its jump scares and its spectral enemies. This game was really creepy, especially when you dig deeper and find out it's based on a gruesome Japanese folklore and urban legend of the Shrine Maiden ritual. But for now, we are only going to focus on the 3 powerful ghostly presences. The Broken Neck Woman, Sai Kurosawa, and Seijiro Makabe Kusabi. These 3 enemies scared us to our core. If you're ready, then let's fall down the rabbit hole and explore. Fatal Frame, Crimson Butterfly, 3 scariest enemies and their lore.
Hello, PHS crew. We have a question for you. Have you played Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly before? If so, then what ghost terrified you the most? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. We are dying to know.
Before we can dive into the ghost lore, we need to explore the village lore. The All Gods Village is an entity itself that is surrounded by its villagers' beliefs and superstitions, which led to their tragedy. The vanished village is said to have once stood deep in the mountains. Legend holds that on the eve of a special festival, the village suddenly disappeared, leaving the forest wreathed in a thick fog, and anyone who got lost in the forest is spirited away to this village, which is held in a state of eternal night. They say the village was built over a gateway in the underworld, known as the Hellish Abyss, to placate the evil Thonian deity dwelling beneath and prevent its malice from spilling out and causing disasters. The villagers performed an appeasement ceremony called the Crimson Sacrifice. This ritual was performed using twin sisters. One of the twins was to strangle the other, which was believed to reunite their souls into a single being and appease the abyss. The sacrificed twin's soul would become a crimson butterfly. But the ritual failed. The repentance. The main haunting of the village is the result of a ritual that went horribly wrong in the past. The twins chosen for this particular sacrifice were Sai and Yai Kurosawa. Sai and Yai attempted to escape the village with the help of Itsuki Tachibana on the day of the ceremony. Yai escaped, but Sai was caught. Since one twin was missing, the villagers made a desperate attempt at an alternative ritual called the repentance and sacrificed Sai alone, likely trying to use a folklorist named Seijiro Makabe to seal the abyss. But this failed catastrophically, unsealing the hellish abyss. Sai returned as a vengeful spirit, possessed by the malice, and along with Makabe, massacred the entire village population. The entire village population was wiped out, and now the desolate village is haunted by the ghost of its citizens, forever trapped in the never-ending night, constantly reliving the repentance. The twin sisters, Mio and Mayu Amakura, are drawn to the lost village by a crimson butterfly. Mayu becomes increasingly influenced and possessed by the spirit of Sai, and Mio is mistaken for Yai by friendly spirits like Itsuki. Mio must uncover the truth about the village in its curse ritual, while simultaneously trying to prevent herself from being forced to reenact the failed Crimson sacrifice with her own sister. The lore is centered on the theme of twin bonds, sacrifice, and the terror of a never-ending cycle of death and vengeance.
Off into the bowl so you don't get the blood on the floor. You now have 10 seconds to complete this task. But if you don't, then the game will end. And you won't pass. But first, let's take a quick commercial break. Then we will come back to check on our contestants to see if they followed what Simon says.
Her name is Erin, and she taught.
Crimson's butterfly has many ghost enemies that will give you the heebie-jeebies and keep you in a state of nervous fear and anxiety. But in our opinion, there are 3 ghosts that are extremely terrifying to us in this game. The Broken Neck Woman, Sai Kurosawa, and Seijiro Makabe, Kusabi. They are what nightmare fuel is made out of. They are truly scary. They will stick with you long after you turn the game off. They will live rent-free in your brain. So, let's dive into these frightening spectrals and the lore behind their creepy, ghostly presences. The Broken Neck Woman, or the Fallen Woman, is one of the enemies in the game you will have to face. But we really don't know who she is. The game doesn't tell us her name. All we know is that she is a member of the Tsuchihara family, who, in a moment of panic, jumped from a bridge and landed on her head, breaking her neck. She is depicted with long black hair, a blank stare, and a white kimono, with her head permanently tilted to one side. She is a very aggressive antagonist in this game, and she wants the player to die. Her movement is unsettling, slow, shambling, and sometimes she will fall from nowhere and will crawl on the floor. And if she gets too close, she will suddenly lunge at the player, trying to choke you out. She will also follow you to other locations and houses. She is known for her jump scares, appearing unexpectedly when the player uses the camera obscura on a harmless apparition, or when you enter a new area. She is truly scary. Sai Kurosawa is a central antagonist in the video game Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. She is a 15-year-old twin who was meant to be sacrificed in a ritual, but instead became a vengeful spirit after her sister Yai fled and she was captured and killed alone. The origin story of the Kurosawa twins. They are the daughters of the village elder, Ryokan Kurosawa. Yai and Sai were chosen to be sacrificed by their father, to become the new twin shrine maidens, to take part in the Crimson ritual. They were chosen to create a new Crimson butterfly in order to protect the village. Sai being the one meant to be sacrificed by her sister. Seijiro Makabe was visiting the village at the time with his apprentice, Ryozo Munakata, who wanted to study the rituals, the hidden ceremony. Yai developed a liking for Ryozo, while Sai was attracted to a fellow villager, Itsuki Tachibana. who sacrificed his own twin in the ritual, becoming a remaining. As Sai and Yai learned of their purpose, Yai grew frightened of it, while Sai accepted her fate calmly. Yai learned that Seijiro was to be sacrificed in the hidden ceremony by the villagers, so Yai warned him beforehand, having him send Ryozo away before the villagers got him as well. Itsuki heard of their attempt and helped the twins escape the village in the night, but stayed behind to distract the villagers. But along the way, Sai fell down a slope and hurt her leg. Yai failed to notice her sister fell and kept going. The villagers eventually caught up with Sai and led her back into the village, where she waited for Yai to return for her. But Yai never returned. Sai went to see Itsuki once more before the ritual date, at the Tachibana storehouse, where he was being kept as punishment. Unfortunately, Sai only found Itsuki's dead body. He was hanging from a noose, having committed suicide to escape more bitter punishments. Becoming desperate, Ryokan decided to carry out the Crimson Sacrifice with Sai alone, having the Veil Priest hang her before the abyss. This only served to break the seal, causing a flood of darkness to spill. The now corrupt spirit of Sai emerging from the abyss along with the Kusabi, form of Makabe's spirit, laughing evilly as they went on a killing spree throughout the village, leaving no survivors behind in the repentance, which cured the village, causing it to disappear. After some time, Yai did return for Sai, in hopes of seeing her again, but all she encountered when she returned was a large, empty area. The Kusabi is a vengeful ghost. Formerly, the folklorist named Seijiro Makabe. He was captured by All Gods Village and forced to become a sacrifice in the hidden ceremony to appease the hellish abyss, only to return and kill everyone in the area. Seijiro Makabe was a traveling folklorist and researcher who was led into All Gods Village upon recommendation of his student, Ryozo Munakata. He had visited the area in his youth, having Dr. Kunihiko Asao's equipment with him. He was received into the Kurosawa household and welcomed by the village leader, Ryokan Kurosawa, and his twin daughters, Yai and Sai. At the time of his arrival, the twins were being prepared to become part of the Crimson Sacrifice ritual in order to appease the hellish abyss and prevent the repentance. To buy time, Makabe was selected by Ryokan to become the new Kusabi in the hidden ceremony and serve as a temporary sacrifice, as it can only be done with an outsider to the village. Yai and Sai, knowing of their father's intention, warned the folklorists, and Seijiro had Ryozo leave ahead of time to spare him of the same fate. Imprisoned within a small library, Seijiro had time to read and learn about the rituals and customs of All Gods Village, eventually learning about the cutting ritual and the hellish abyss, accepting his fate happily as he'd see the forbidden place with his own eyes before dying. Seijiro was sacrificed to the abyss and served to appease it for a time, but due to the Crimson Sacrifice using only Sai in its performance, the darkness erupted from the ground and the repentance began. Sai's crazed spirit emerged from within it, followed closely by Makabe, in his Kusabi form. Both of them swept the village and killed anyone in sight, plunging the entire area in darkness and causing it to vanish. For the years to come, wanderers who got lost in the woods and found themselves within the deserted All Gods village would endure the suffering of all the lost souls trapped within it and face their demise in the form of the Kusabi, who would fiercely attack and slash their bodies apart. Have you ever played a Fatal Frame video game? If so, what ghost scared you the most? Fatal Frame is a unique game. A game where the only weapon is a camera. A game where you have to have patience and nerves of steel. To wait to take the perfect shot. The Fatal Frame. It challenges you to face your fears through a camera lens. Do you have the courage to play this game? This will conclude Crimson Butterfly 3 Scariest Ghost Deep Dives. We hope you enjoyed these creepy ghost lores. If you did enjoy it, then please like, share, and comment to let us know. And if you're new, please subscribe and become a part of the PHS crew. And since you made it this far, then why don't you click on the iCard? We have many original Halloween horror stories and deep dives you will enjoy. We appreciate and thank you all, and we will see you in our next video. Let me know in the comments, what's your scariest gaming moment? And if you haven't played Fatal Frame, are you brave enough to play it?